Hello everyone from the Qatari Peninsula. We're at the Lusail International Circuit, just a few kilometres from the city of Doha. Our director takes us to the starting grid where riders are trying to maintain their concentration. Riders have completed the warm-up lap. Fabio Quartararo starts from pole position. Just a few more moments and we'll see the start of the Grand Prix.
It's lights out and lift off for MotoGP in 2022 in Qatar. Not a bad start for the poleman Jorge Martin, although big moment. The two Repsol Honda's got away brilliantly. Marc Marquez gets the whole shot. Pol Espargaro slots into second. The initial launch good for Martin. Then he got it wrong, big moment. But it's the two Repsol Hondas who lead.
From Brad Binder, who's up into third place. He's trying to go right around the other side of Marc Marquez. The two factory Ducatis had terrible starts. Fabio Quartararo immediately ahead of both of the factory Ducatis. He's trying to go the inside of Terimakasih. Quartararo looks like he's getting at least 4 places, and he's got both factory Ducatis and the poleman behind him.
Pol Espargaro leading on a Repsol Honda. We would never have said that at any time last year, would we? Pecco Bagnaia had a shocking start at the back of the third row, 9th. Back to 15th place, Lewis said the two factory Ducatis just completely missed the start. Already getting aggressive, getting busy as 2020 champ Joan Mir. We know how good he is at coming through the pack. We know how good he is as well at making overtakes and keeping his tyres in good order. Do not discount Joan Mir. On the start, it's a poor start from Martin.
He was trying to get the inside of Malaysia Spargo, he lost the position back to the inside the green ticket. Team Pol Espargaro leading as Fabio Quartararo makes progress. This is where he has to make his progress in this infield section where the straight line speed isn't going to hamper him. Off the inside of Jorge Martin, just the first lap that Quartararo needed up to P7 from 11th on the grid.
Yeah, already getting wheel spin on that medium actually rear tyre there. Fabio Quartararo just about keeping Jorge Martin at bay, although with the slipstream of how the Ducati down the start-finish straight, he might be easily picked off. The Yamaha's been about anything between 10 and 12k slower. Brilliant by the world champion, ex-world champion Joan Mir. Just sticks his leg up there, maybe an apology quickly to Enea Bastianini. He got through on the Italian at turn 15. Martin doesn't need the slipstream and the top speed of the Ducati to pick up Quartararo. He's got to beat the Yamaha man in the final corner at turn 16.
Who would have expected this then? At the end of the first lap, it's a Repsol Honda 1-2. It's a Espargaro leading from Marc Marquez. Is Marquez going to go through immediately? Up the inside of his teammate he goes. Pol Espargaro doesn't fight it too hard. Who would have expected Brad Binder to be next behind him? And Pol Espargaro straight away sending a message to his teammate. He ain't no number 2 at Honda.
Yeah, Marquez was just that little bit high, went a little bit wide, maybe a metre offline. No second invitation needed for Pol Espargaro to take the lead back. Excellent first lap, excellent start for Brad Binder.
Looks like he's got legs really itching to get past him. Quartararo just slightly detached from this leading group. He's half a second behind the Ducati of poleman Jorge Martin. Is Quartararo able to run this pace? He said yesterday after qualifying that was as good as he had. That was as much pace as he had to qualify 11th on the grid. And at the moment he's finding his pace a little bit too hot at the front.
Bagnaia not rattled by a shocking start. He's starting to pick his way through the pack again now. He's just taken Alex Marquez. 10th place on this lap. Here comes the Suzuki. We would not have seen this in the recent years, would we? A Suzuki nudging what, 355 kilometres an hour. Jack Miller can take up 30 horsepower. Alex Rins was buzzing and beaming on Friday when he saw he got the top speed. Never happened on a factory Suzuki before. They've made massive strides with the aero package, the engine, the rear ride height device. That Suzuki, without any question, is back as a championship contender this year. Rins then now up into what, 8th place.
Marquez crucially as well. Brad Binder up into 2nd place. That is not what we expected to be saying. Bastianini's having another look. This time he is going to get it done on Joan Mir, who's eased aside into turn 4. Bastianini on the move. He looked like he was getting a little bit impatient behind Joan Mir. He's now made the move.
Marquez got him hot here on the brakes into the first corner. It looks like he has, yeah, got him way too hot. He was never going to stop that. Thankfully, he didn't lose the front, took the front, just moved it, release the brakes, run wide, take your punishment, and then try and recover the lost place. So Binder didn't have to work for that one, but he's up into 2nd and looking strong. Can Enea Bastianini's Ducati do anything about the Repsol Honda and Marc Marquez directly ahead of him? He's picked up some slipstream. He'll have the inside line, and he eases by Marc Marquez on the brakes into the first corner. So Marquez, is he going to pull it a little bit tighter? Mia's gone well wide. Likewise, Jorge Martin, that's the slipstream effect. That's just those extra 5, 6, 7 kilometres now you pick up in the slipstream. It just changed your braking marker. We saw it last year. Pecco Bagnaia actually lost the chance of a victory when he ran in hot at the first corner in the Grand Prix of Qatar last year. So it's an easy mistake to make. Simon, down to you, some thoughts.
Yeah, just about that braking area when we first saw it with Mark, now a couple of others. In recent years with the wings, they help the bike stop as well. When that device clicks back up into place and the wings angle of attack works, they rely on it. Braking marker, if there's someone in front of them in the braking area, if the wings don't work and they can't stop.
Gone to perfection so far for him. He made a brilliant launch off the line from 6th place on the grid. He's been happy to make the front running here, of course. There's been missed opportunities, hasn't there, in the past for Polis Vargo. He's been so tantalisingly close to breaking his Premier Class victory duck. I'm sure wherever you are watching on the sofas, on the virtual fan wall, you're enjoying this cracking start of the 2022 MotoGP World Championship. Surprised to see Mir struggling to run the pace at the front at the moment. Will he come on strong in the latter stages?
Absolutely, well, he's leaving himself a little bit of work to do at the moment. He's only a second off the lead at the moment, although that top four do appear to be getting a little bit of breathing space out of the front, but it just underlines how competitive MotoGP is in 2022. 5 different manufacturers in this 6-rider leading group. Polis Vargo leading for Honda ahead of a KTM of Brad Binder, a Ducati of Enea Bastianini, the second Honda of Marc Marquez, with an Aprilia and a Suzuki right on their tails.
Well, in the early stage of this Qatar Grand Prix, I don't think anybody would have thought pre-season that Polis Vargo and Brad Binder and Enea Bastianini would be holding the top 3 places, with world champion Fabio Quartararo in 9th and runner-up last year Pecco Bagnaia in 10th. Still a long way to go. There's confirmation on the screens, unfortunately. Jack Miller retired down and out to the opening Grand Prix. That's cruel luck for Jack Miller, really unfortunate for him. Now we're looking back at Alex Rins, and there's the pole man Jorge Martin. He's in 8th. Bagnaia actually has just taken that 9th place away from Fabio Quartararo, probably, I'd imagine, using a bit of grunt on the Ducati down that start-finish straight. The chasm between the Ducatis and the fastest motorcycles here and the Yamahas has been pretty embarrassing. Jack Miller storms out the back of the factory Ducati garage. So it's been confident with a lot of his doing totally out of his hands. None of the way he wanted to kick off 2022. So I'm going to take him to explain minutes.
We're on board now with Marc Marquez, trailing Enea Bastianini. Marc Marquez, as Matt said a moment ago, setting his personal best lap of the race, last time around. It's difficult to know at this stage whether Marc Marquez is just sitting pretty in 4th place. He seemed to want to talk his chances down and for the podium. It's pretty clear at this stage, half distance in this MotoGP race, that Marc Marquez is well and truly in the podium battle. Yeah. But is he just holding fire at the moment and keeping his powder dry in 4th place, or does he have more to offer?
What's pretty clear is the improvements that we knew had come from HRC. The powerhouse like Honda were never going to take the last couple of years lying down, were they? There's Nadia Paradini, of course, the boss of the Gresini team, the widow of the late former 125cc world champion Fausto Gresini, fantastically carrying on Fausto's legacy here, forming the MotoGP team. Oh no! That's Pecco Bagnaia! And who's he taking out?
Jorge Martin.
Oh dearie me, friendly fire! 2 top factory Ducatis out of the opening Grand Prix of the season. We're going to have to look at that one on the replay. They can't believe it. What a disastrous night for the Ducati Lenovo team. Jack Miller already out and bitterly frustrated and angry, and now Pecco Bagnaia, who runs over to console Jorge Martin. That looks like then Bagnaia was the guilty man. He apologises to Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin looks like he takes it on the chin, but what a disaster. Up the inside then comes Bagnaia. He's at the inside line. Front end just tucks right from underneath him, trail brake into the first corner on the outside. Poor old Martin, hung out to dry, nowhere to go. He gets clattered, the poleman Martinator out, and Pecco Bagnaia out as well. What drama in the opening Grand Prix.
What a disastrous opening night for Ducati. Nothing Jorge Martin could do. He was just being overtaken into turn 1 and found himself being scooped up into the ground. Look, he's already looking if he's making a bit of a gap out of the front. He's a quarter of a second, 3/4 of a second, should I say, clear at the front. And Bastianini, who's Ducati's sole hope now at the front of this Grand Prix, looking as if he wants to make a bid immediately to get into second place. He can see that factory Honda of Espargaro going off into the distance.
The highs and lows, the ups and downs of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Ducati last year finished 2021 jubilant, joyous. They took their first ever podium lockout in Valencia in their Grand Prix history since they arrived back in 2003. It's been a start to 2022 they'll want to forget very, very quickly. No Miller in action, no Bagnaia in action. Jorge Martin, the poleman, wiped out by Pecco Bagnaia. You don't see Pecco Bagnaia make those kind of mistakes. He's going to be gutted. He'll be devastated, not for his own prospects, but the fact that he also wiped out Jorge Martin. Red faces on the red bike so far this weekend. Now they're just still moving. Some of the debris on there. That's what the yellow flags have still been out in Sector 1. Back at the front, Pol Espargaro. This will be a popular win if he hangs on here with 10 laps to go in Qatar. He was really put through the mill last year, battered and bruised so many times. That Honda last year, he really unrolled, really did spit him and chew him up last season. But Pol Espargaro looking so good, so strong at the front of this Grand Prix still. Bastianini, Marquez and Lace Espargaro going to find a way through on Brad Binder, because Pol Espargaro at the front of this Grand Prix on this lap alone has taken half a second out of the South African. Pol Espargaro in the groove, as he has been right from the get-go in this Grand Prix. Is Brad Binder just struggling a little bit more grip? We're coming down the start of this right now. There's nothing wrong with the top speed of the cage here. We know that we saw it to Magello last year, but Bastianini switched on through. Beast mode engaged in the game. You knew he had to do that move. You can see Pol Espargaro just starting to put a bit of daylight at the front. He runs a little bit wide. He cuts it back, chops Brad Binder's nose up as they swing through the turn 2, but Bastianini gets the job done. He's up into second, exactly what he needs to do.
Whoever would have thought on the opening night of the 2022 season, all Ducati's weight on the shoulders of Enea Bastianini on their 2021 bike with the Cressini team, who of course have gone fully independent once again for this season. Bastianini now has clear tarmac ahead of him. He's got a second of tarmac to try and make up. Can he now close the gap on Pol Espargaro? Crucially, can Marc Marquez quickly make the move? Bastianini wide, he's just going to hold it. Marc Marquez looking to take advantage too, but Bastianini really pushing on now. He knows he needs to close this gap.
It's only ever happened twice before in Grand Prix history, two brothers sharing a podium. There's been no brothers on the same podium in MotoGP since Nobuatsu and Takemori Aoki at Imola back in 1997, 25 long years ago. Are we about to see that amazing feat here? Marc Marquez looks like he's in a bit of trouble here. Lace Espargaro looks like at this stage of the race he's got the better pace. We are now into that phase of the Grand Prix where tyre wear is going to be key. Who has kept the best life in that rear tyre in particular? 6 laps to go, 5.5 to go. Binder at the moment looks like he is able to streak away from Marc Marquez. Can he resist? Can he hold Lace Espargaro at bay and hang on to that 4th spot?
Yeah, this is where the medium rear tyre for Lace Espargaro is really going to pay him back. Marc Marquez on the softer option. Lace Espargaro just appears to have more pace and more grit in these closing stages of the race. Likewise up at the front, of course. Both Repsol Hondas went for the soft option.
He's got
Here comes Lace Espargaro on the inside. Leaves an elbow on Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez did not expect her to pretty smooth past him in the first 1-3 of the season. But Espargaro with some serious pace. A little bit of a shake from the nose of that Honda for Pol Espargaro as he came round turn 14, but here's where they expect the move to happen. And Enea Bastianini then pulls out of slipstream straight past Pol Espargaro. Can Pol Espargaro get back past? Does he have any grip on the brakes to get past? No. Bastianini gets his stop to Pol Espargaro. Runs wide into turn 1.
That's game over for Pol Espargaro. He did that in one of the Grand Prix here last year. The pressure's been building. Wow, what's going through the thoughts here now of the Gresini team? And of course, the mistake from Pol Espargaro now means that it's Binder and Marc Marquez back on the podium.
Brad Binder's in second. Pol Espargaro's got back on in third. He's just managed to hold up his brother, but yeah, the brothers could soon be battling it out for the final podium position. The Suzuki Challenge just hasn't materialised. Mir and Rins running solidly in the low 155s. They are closing in. Mir's closing in on the back of Marc Marquez, so we could see those two battling for 5th position, but this is the battle for the lead, and Enea Bastianini 4 laps away from history.
Well, Honda said they found some horsepower in the winter. They clearly have. That's all about the drive as well that you get off that 3rd gear final corner. Pol Espargaro was desperately trying to resist. He just got a bit of slipstream behind Enea Bastianini, a bit of dirty air as well. He runs in hard, and that looks like it might be victory hopes over. Still on course for a potential top 3, a great way to start the year, but Enea Bastianini, it's in his hands now. What an emotional win this would be. This team was set up by Fausto Gresini before he tragically lost his life just over 1 year ago to COVID-19. I'm sure Fausto is looking down now and being so proud of what he left behind. His widow down there in pit lane, she's about the action. Enea Bastianini on course for what would be a truly emotional, remarkable runaway to kick off 2022 MotoGP. We're going to choke up here in the commentary box as well here, aren't we? Because Enea Bastianini has, what, just over 5.3 kilometres to go between himself and the most emotional of Grand Prix victories here in Qatar.
Yeah, Brad Binder, to his credit, isn't giving up on this just yet. He wasn't taking quicker once again on that penultimate lap, but he will only take a mistake now for Enea Bastianini to lose this one. Brad Binder, though, second place incoming for the first Grand Prix of the season for the factory KTM team. What a start for Francesco Guidotti, and that new Honda that we've talked about all winter looks like it might just hang on to a podium. Paul Espargaro's got 0.4 of a second in his pocket over his older brother Aleix, and Marc Marquez still holding firm ahead of Joan Mir. Mir doesn't appear to have enough to close in the fifth position.
You can see there the team views on the left-hand side of your picture. Enea Bastianini now coming through this second sector. They don't think Brad Binder's going to be close enough to try and deny him this famous victory. It looks like as well Paul Espargaro's going to hang on for third place. Great job by him on the Repsol Honda. It looks like he's well, the grip on that soft tyre, but it's all about one man and one team. Enea Bastianini on the Gresini Racing Ducati, the year-old GP Ducati 21. He threatened this when he topped the timesheets, he topped the leaderboard, he got official test in Sepang. He said all along, this new bike is capable of winning. I can fight for the championship on this bike. I'm not sure too many people believed him on that year on motorcycle, but here he goes, on course, well set to win the opening Grand Prix here in Qatar.
Yeah, Binder's closing in on this final lap. It's down to 0.6 of a second, that lead, so Binder is just keeping the Gresini team sweating right the way down to the checkered flag, but only 2 more corners to go. And Enea Bastianini just needs to keep it smooth through turn 15, and only turn 16 to go for a hugely emotional victory and a historic occasion for the beast.
Wow.
Binder's closing.
Binder's closing. Enea Bastianini's got to be careful here. They come out of the final corner. Enea Bastianini surely on course for a famous victory. The beast reigns supreme in the Middle East. What an emotional victory for Enea Bastianini and the Gresini Ducati team. Emotional scenes now today. Enea Bastianini's Ducati do anything about the Repsol Honda and Marc Marquez directly ahead of him. He's picked up some slipstream. He'll have the inside line and he eases by Marc Marquez on the brakes at the first corner. So Marquez, is he going to pull it a little bit tighter? Oh, Mia's got well, likewise, Jorge Martin, that's the slipstream effect. That's just those extra 5, 6, 7 kilometres now you pick up in the slipstream. It just changes your braking marker. We saw it last year. Pecco Bagnaia actually lost the chance of a victory when he ran in hot at the first corner in the Grand Prix of Qatar last year. So it's an easy mistake to make. Simon, down to you for some thoughts.
Yeah, just about that braking area. When we first saw it with Mark, now a couple of others, in recent years with the wings, they help the bike stop as well. When that device clicks back up into place and the wings angle of attack works, they rely on it with their braking marker. But if there's someone in front of them in the braking area, the wings don't work and they can't stop.
Around the wings, yeah, good point, Simon. So Paul Espargaro, well, it's been plan A gone to perfection so far. He made a brilliant launch on the line from 6th place on the grid. He's been happy to make the front running here, of course. There's been missed opportunities, hasn't there, in the past? Paul Espargaro's been so tantalisingly close to breaking his Premier Class victory duck. I'm sure wherever you are in the world watching from the sofas on the virtual fan wall, you're enjoying this cracking start of the 2022 MotoGP World Championship. Surprised to see me struggling to run the pace in the front at the moment. Will he come on strong in the latter stages?
Absolutely, he's leading a second. A little bit of words there. He's only a second off the lead at the moment, although that top 4 do appear to be getting a little bit of breathing space out of the front, but it just underlines how competitive MotoGP is in 2022. 5 different manufacturers in this 6-wide leading group. Paul Espargaro leading for Honda ahead of the KTM of Brad Binder, a Ducati with an the second Honda of Marc Marquez with an Aprilia and a Suzuki right on their tails.
Well, in the early stage of this Qatar Grand Prix, I don't think anybody would have thought pre-season that Paul Espargaro and Brad Binder and Enea Bastianini would be holding the top 3 places, with world champion Fabio Quartararo in 9th and runner-up last year Pecco Bagnaia in 10th. Still a long, long way to go. There is confirmation on your screens. Unfortunately, Jack Miller retired down and out of the opening Grand Prix. That's cruel luck for Jack Miller, really unfortunate for him. There, now we're looking back at Alex Rins, and there's the pole man Jorge Martin. He's in 8th. Bagnaia actually has just taken that 9th place away from Fabio Quartararo, probably, I'd imagine, using a bit of grunt of the Ducati down that start-finish straight. The chasm between the Ducatis and the fastest motorcycles here and the Yamahas has been pretty embarrassing. Jack Miller storms out the back of the factory Ducati garage. Clearly there's been a problem that was not of his doing, totally out of his hand. Is not the way he wanted to kick off 2022. Might need to have a bit of a 10-metre exclusion zone around Jack for a few minutes.
We're on board now with Marc Marquez, trailing Enea Bastianini. Marc Marquez, as Matt said a moment ago, setting his personal best lap of the race last time around. It's difficult to know at this stage whether Marc Marquez is just sitting pretty in 4th place. He seemed to want to talk his chances down over the course of the weekend and challenging for the win and for the podium. It's pretty clear at this stage, half distance in this MotoGP race, that Marc Marquez is well and truly in the podium battle. But is he just holding fire at the moment and keeping his powder dry in 4th place, or does he have more to offer?
What's pretty clear was the improvements that we knew had come from HRC. The powerhouse like Honda were never going to take the last couple of years lying down, were they? There's Nadia Padovini, of course, the boss of the Gresini team, the widow of the late former 125cc world champion Fausto Gresini, fantastically carrying on Fausto's legacy here, forming the MotoGP team. Oh no! That's Pecco Bagnaia, and who's he taken out?
Jorge Martin.
Oh dearie me, friendly fire. 2 top factory Ducatis out of the opening Grand Prix of the season. We're going to have to look at that one on the replay. They can't believe it. What a disastrous night for the Ducati Lenovo team. Jack Miller already out and bitterly frustrated and angry, and now Pecco Bagnaia, he runs over to console Jorge Martin. That looks like then Bagnaia was the guilty man. He apologises to Jorge.
Let's take a look at the final classification of the MotoGP race before the traditional podium ceremony. Here we are in Parc Ferme, the cameras showing us the 3rd place rider. Perhaps he was hoping for a win today, but a podium finish is always something to be proud of. Well, live from the circuit where the top 3 have just arrived on the podium for the ceremony. Call him Fabio, call him El Diablo, whatever. He always makes it look easy when he wins. What a crazy race from Quartararo.